Yes, my dear friend, welcome back to the channel. This is Salon's vlog, and I'm welcome in a very special way. Well, it is a beautiful day, beautiful Wednesday, and we are still working towards our next game, Sheffield United. Yes, as you know, that game has a defining factor in it. The game against Sheffield United has a defining factor in it. The season, Chelsea's season, actually would depend solely on the game against Sheffield United. For two reasons. One, to know whether the coach that is in charge of this squad really has the guts to do the right thing at this critical moment. This moment that we are right now, whether he had the guts to act as a coach tactically or not. Because this game against Sheffield United, we must win it. Otherwise, number two, to see the character of the players we have. We as a Chelsea football club or a team, we must see the character of the players we have. Whether they can bounce back or not. These two things, that is what I look out for in our next game against Sheffield United. Meanwhile, there have been rumors in the dressing room about the captaincy, as Reece James right now is out again with an injury. Reece James, our captain, is out again with an injury. And there has been a rumor ongoing in the dressing room, which if you were to watch the first video, I made very clear regarding the captaincy. Reece James being named the captain, most players in the dressing room were not happy about. They expected Thiago Silva to be the captain as a senior in the dressing room. Or even if Reece James was being named the captain, Thiago Silva should be the deputy. But the deputy was given to Ben Chilwell. Ben Chilwell now is also in the dressing, also on the injury list. Reece James is on injury list. Ben Chilwell is on injury list. And the next in line, they still overlook Thiago Silva and still give the armband to Conor Gallagher. Right now, as we are hearing, Conor Gallagher is on for sale, actually. Insiders within the club are pondering over selling Conor Gallagher to balance the books. So that leaves the issue of the captaincy now in what? A dilemma. Who are they going to give it to when Thiago Silva is there? They've already shown disrespect. According to sources in the dressing room, says the players felt the club and Pochettino shown disrespect to Thiago Silva. And Pochettino has come out to defend that issue. This is what he has to say. I said, Thiago Silva, Pochettino, he came out to make a statement. According to Jacob Stisben, Pochettino has insisted there is no problem with Silva being overlooked, saying a player of the Brazilian stature does not need the armband to be a leader. However, some of Silva's teammates cannot understand why their most experienced player is not leading the team out when the regular captain is absent. There is talk of disrespect being shown towards Silva. This is from the dressing room. There is talk of disrespect being shown towards Silva. Well, we wait to see, like the coach himself said, a Brazilian stature does not need the armband to be a leader. But that does not mean that if given the armband, he wouldn't accept it. We saw a few occasions that he was given the armband by Conor Gallagher. He acted on his behalf. So Pochettino, come again. We move on to other important news. Yes, other important news. And now, Chelsea faces a pivotal meeting of Premier League shareholders today that threatens to further undermine the transfer strategy of the owners. Clubs who won the Premier League to follow UEFA in capping amortization over 5 years, which will be a disaster for Chelsea. Amortization over 5 years. Let me explain to you that do not understand what this means. My dear friend, Chelsea took advantage of the Premier League's own rules. That stipulates you can buy players and spread the amount you bought them over the years, the period of years you are buying them. For instance, you can buy a player that costs you £100 million. But if you have a contract with that player for 5 years, it will go against you in the FF rules. Because when you are spreading the years, that means that there are 100,000, £20 million every year for 5 years, right? So at the end of the day, it might go against you in the final year reports. But when you have a longer year, like now Chelsea sign players for 7 years, 8 years, 9 years contract, and you buy the player for, let's say, £100 million. So you are going to spread the 100 million over an 8 years span. That means that each player or each year of that player, the value is around 12 million. That is a loophole that Chelsea took advantage of by giving players longer span, longer contract. They give all the players 7 years, 8 years, 7 years, 8 years, 7 years, 8 years. And this is why the FFP could not hold Chelsea, could not affect Chelsea directly. Now, this news came up 3 days ago. And yesterday, the meeting was held. And this issue was overturned. It was overturned. Now, it was agreed that a new rule will be that Premier League will now follow UEFA's rules, which stipulate that no club will offer a contract that is more than 5 years to any player. No club will now offer a contract that is more than 5 years. 5 years should be the limit, should be the cap, according to UEFA. But PL clubs were allowed initially by the PL board to sign more than 5 years. But right now, they have realized that some clubs like Chelsea have taken advantage to go into the market and spend and buy players and get a long contract. It is true. It's an advantage for Chelsea owners because they are business people. They bought players very expensive. They bought players that are not yet matured, to play in the Premier League right now. And they are keeping them to make business out of it in the years to come. For instance, you buy a player like Casado, you pay £115 million, and you give him 7-year contract. 7 divided by 115. That means that a year is just about 12-13 million pounds you are buying that player per year. So if Casado should play for Chelsea for the next 3 years, 4 years, and Chelsea want to sell Casado, by then Casado will be around 26, 27 years. If Chelsea want to sell Casado, around 26 years, yes. At that age, Chelsea can still sell Casado about 60, 70 million. So if you check it, Chelsea is making more profit. Chelsea will be making more profit because the age at which they bought Casado, they spread the years. And so at the end of the day, Chelsea will make profit of about 40, 50 million. That is what it means. But that loophole is what now, that amortization is what other clubs have agreed now to close that loophole so that Chelsea can no longer take advantage over that. That is what it means. Right now, we already have almost more than half of our players on 7 years, 8 years contract. Now that this rule is being made, we can no longer go to the market and buy players for 8 years and put them on 8 years contract. We can only limit it to 5 years. But the ones that we already bought, we have already secured that. But in my next episode, I will explain to you the disadvantage of what we are doing. I will explain to you how Chelsea is going to be a loser at the end. I will tell you why. There is a secret which Chelsea did not consider. And I will come back again in my next episode. Watch out for that. I'll see you in the next one when you see me. I'll tell you what, we are Chelsea and we know what we are doing. I shall be back in the next one. See you when you see me. Shalom and peace.